Listen carefully. This is not just a story, it is a gentle, urgent knocking on the door of your heart. Archangel Michael's secret warning has been whispered through time to those who are ready to hear, and today that whisper arrives at your ears. There is a miracle poised at the edge of your life, a divine protection waiting to anchor you, and a single, sacred instruction: stay silent. Hold your breath for a moment and feel the stillness settle. In that sacred hush, something begins to open. If you are watching this and you already feel a shiver of recognition, type 1111 in the comments now, not because of superstition, but to acknowledge to yourself that you are awake to this message. If you are not ready to type yet, simply breathe and listen. This message blends the ancient truth of Archangel Michael with the modern language of spiritual awakening, prayer, angel numbers, and healing. It is written for those who seek divine protection, who hunger for a miracle, who want to feel the presence of a guardian angel in a tangible way. There are moments when the cosmos arranges events as if a mighty hand is guiding the tiny pieces of your life into a pattern you could never design alone. This is how miracles arrive, quietly, precisely, with timing so exact you can only call it divine. Archangel Michael is not just a figure from folklore. In the spiritual traditions and many accounts across the world, Michael is the champion of light, the warrior who fights to clear paths and deliver protection. When Archangel Michael's warning arrives, it often carries with it an invitation, an instruction that, if followed, can shift your life toward safety, healing, and profound grace. This message asks you to be still, to keep silent, to listen, and to trust. If you feel called, leave a comment with Amen to declare your faith aloud in the comments section. Join others who are choosing faith over fear and watch how the energy of belief grows. The warning itself is not a threat but a compass. It points away from distraction, away from frantic bargaining, and toward quiet surrender. When Michael warns you, he is asking you to close the doors of loudness, the chatter of doubt, the noise of social feeds, the arguments in your head. Silence is not punishment, it is a practice of preparation. Imagine a telescope. If you want to see stars clearly, you must remove the city lights. If you want to receive a celestial message, the noisy parts of your life must dim. The miracle that opens for you in silence is not always loud or obvious. It might show up as a small, precise shift, a job opportunity that arrives through an unexpected contact, a reconciliation that happens when you stop arguing, a physical healing that begins when you stop resisting the treatments you need. These are the fingerprints of Archangel Michael's protection. If you have ever experienced an unexplainable shift and felt relief wash over you, type 222 in the comments. Let others see that miracles are real and happening right now. Many people misunderstand silence as passive waiting. In truth, silence is an active force. When you become quiet, You create space, the vacuum that allows grace to move in. Archangel Michael's secret warning asks you to do 3 things while you are in that silence: listen, discern, and act when prompted. Listening is the first and longest task. You must slow your breath, still your body, and open your inner ear. Discernment is the second, learning to tell the difference between your own fears and the voice of the divine. And action comes not as a frantic scramble but as a confident step when a clear light shows the way. This sequence, listen, discern, act, is a spiritual workflow that has led countless souls through storms into harbors of mercy. If you understand this, or if you want to commit to practicing it, comment 777 below as your seal of intention. Stories help us see invisible things. Imagine a woman named Maria who was on the edge of financial collapse. She had tried everything: budgets, side jobs, even borrowing from friends, until it felt like her dignity was drying up. One night she prayed for a sign. The next morning, while practicing silence and asking for guidance, she felt a strong, calm presence, a warmth at the center of her chest, and a clear instruction to call the number you wrote down last year. She had an old note with a number of a mentor she had been too embarrassed to call. That phone call led to a freelance project that saved her home. Maria always said she felt like a sword of protection had been placed around her, a description she later attributed to Archangel Michael. If Maria's story touches something inside you, type Amen or the number 999 to show you believe miracles can come through simple obedience to a gentle instruction. You may be thinking, why the secrecy? Why a hidden warning? The answer is that some miracles require privacy to flourish. Seeds planted in public are stepped on. Prayers announced for show are often interrupted by critics and distractions. When you keep your petition and your practice quiet, you allow the miraculous to shape itself without interference. This is not about secrecy to hoard blessings, but about creating an environment where the highest and purest form of that miracle can grow. Archangel Michael's warning often carries a confidentiality clause. Protect the plan by protecting your silence. Resist the urge to broadcast every moment of your spiritual life for validation. Instead, anchor in faith and allow the miracle to unfold. If you're ready to protect your prayer life, write 1111 in the comments as a promise to yourself that you will keep sacred things sacred. Many viewers believe angel numbers like 1111, 222, 777, and 999 are simply coincidences. Others view them as cosmic nods, small confirmations that the universe is aligning with your intention. When Archangel Michael speaks, he often uses simple signs, repetitive numbers, a sudden sense of clarity, a dream filled with blue light. These are not magic passwords but gentle confirmations that you're on the right track. Use these angel numbers as reminders rather than as crutches. Let them bring you back to the present moment and to the posture of prayer. If you get goosebumps reading this and want to affirm your readiness to receive, type the number you see most in your life lately: 1111, 222, 777, or 999, and write a single word, Amen. Your comment will become a tiny beacon in the lives of others who are searching for proof. This miracle requires a kind of inner warfare that Archangel Michael is uniquely suited to lead. Michael is described across traditions as a warrior of light who cuts away fear and lies. But his method is not always epic battles and trumpet calls. Often he operates like a surgeon, precise, quiet, exact. He will remove one small lie at a time until your path is cleared. That's why his warning is so often phrased like a surgical instruction: be still. Do not announce. Breathe. When you follow those instructions, you create a safe operating theater for the miracle to be performed. If you're willing to enter that kind of inner discipline, comment 777 now to join those who are ready to fight for their peace with the help of the angelic realm. Many of you will be skeptical. You might say, how can silence change anything? Where is proof? Proof often hides in ordinary days and then reveals itself as extraordinary in hindsight. The miracle might look like a reconciled relationship, a medical report that shifts toward recovery, or a job that appears right after you stop forcing opportunities. Sometimes, it is as simple as an inner peace that replaces anxiety, a peace that acts like a magnet and draws better choices, supportive people, and healing circumstances toward you. Faith does not require you to believe blindly. It asks you to look for patterns and trust what you see. If you want to strengthen your evidence together, write 222, and in the same comment describe one small, unexplained kindness or shift you've experienced recently. Let our community become a living archive of miracles. There are practical steps that will help you hold silence and prepare for the miracle Archangel Michael has placed before you. First, create a daily quiet appointment, 5 to 20 minutes where you are unreachable. No phone, no notifications, no agenda. Second, breathe slowly and deliberately. Inhale for 4 counts, hold for 4, exhale for 6. Third, say a short prayer asking for clarity and protection. Archangel Michael, guard my heart, clear my way, and show me what I must do next. Fourth, write down any clear thought or impression that arises after your silence. These could be precise instructions. Call this person, apply for that job, accept that apology. Fifth, practice gratitude for things you don't yet see. Gratitude primes the heart to receive. If you commit to doing these things for 7 days, type Amen in the comments and commit publicly. Accountability multiplies faith. There is also a delicate moral line to walk here. The silence and secrecy I am describing are not an invitation to isolation or to avoid responsibility. If your family needs help, speak up. If immediate danger is present, call the proper authorities. Archangel Michael's warning is not a replacement for necessary action in the physical world. Rather, it is an overlay, spiritual guidance that accompanies wise, appropriate action. Use diplomacy with your silence. Keep sacred things protected, but do not withhold urgent help from those who need it. If you understand that balance, type 1111 and then type the word balance to show you can be both spiritually attuned and practically responsible. Many spiritual teachers say that the language of angels is felt more than heard. You may not experience audible words. Instead, you may have impressions that arrive as images, sudden ideas, or a calm certainty. Pay attention to your dreams, too. Archangel Michael sometimes communicates through vivid, symbolic dreams that carry meaning. Keep a dream journal beside your bed, and after your quiet time, ask for a clarifying dream. When you awaken, jot down everything you remember. Over time, patterns will emerge and the guidance will grow clearer. If you commit to keeping a dream journal for the next month, type 777 and say one word you hope to dream about: healing, peace, job, or love. If you have been wounded by religious systems or spiritual leaders, this message might feel complicated. Archangel Michael is not the property of any institution. He is a presence that transcends denominations. The secret warning to stay silent is not an instruction to be manipulated. It is an invitation to reclaim your spiritual sovereignty. You are the steward of your prayer life. No one has the right to demand your silence or to exploit the mysteries you steward. If you have been hurt, bring your wounds into the quiet and ask for healing. Type 999 if you are choosing healing over hurt, and say the name of one thing you are letting go of in that same comment. The truth is that miracles often arrive not in the loud moments, but in the stillness where the heart has been made ready. Many are tempted, when they sense something divine stirring near them, to declare it hastily, to rush into the open and prove that they are aligned with heaven's movement. Yet, this is not how miracles work. Miracles are not spectacles to be flaunted like trophies or rewards earned by showing others how spiritual you are. They are gifts, sacred seeds that settle in the soil of a prepared heart, quiet ground, holy space where the Spirit can take root. When you hear these words, resist the pull to shout every detail of your inner life into the comments with expectation of proof. For the miracle to remain whole, it must begin in silence, held in the same way a mother holds a secret heartbeat inside before the world sees it. Publicity cannot produce grace. Instead, it comes to those who understand how to guard the sacredness of what God plants within them. This is not to say you should never share. Testimonies are the lifeblood of faith communities, stories that fan the flames of hope for those who are struggling to believe. There is a timing for everything, and when your testimony of divine breakthrough is ready to bloom, it will feed others. But the miracle itself, that first stirring, that first light, demands holy silence. Keep it sacred, protect it like a precious candle cupped from the winds. Only after it has grown strong in your life should it be shared. And when you are ready, your testimony may be the very thing that helps another soul step into their own faith. If this resonates with you, even a simple Amen written now can serve as a covenant, a promise to come back, when the miracle blooms, and honor the testimony in its appointed hour. For those of you who yearn for clarity, who wonder what it feels like when Archangel Michael begins to draw close and open the spiritual path, expect something deep and transforming within you. It often feels like clarity that locks perfectly into place, the way the last piece of a puzzle drops into its corner, leaving the whole picture visible. You may suddenly find the strength to make a difficult call you have avoided for weeks, or you may feel compelled to finally say yes to an opportunity that fear has kept you from seizing. Doors that seemed welded shut can swing wide, sometimes through people you have not seen in years, as if invisible hands have reopened connections for your benefit. Your values shift, sometimes quietly but powerfully, until peace, integrity, compassion, and truth are no longer optional but central. What you once thought was impossible suddenly rests in your grasp, because divine strength has gone before you. These are the fruits of a spiritual clearing orchestrated by Archangel Michael, removing blockages, dispelling confusion, preparing a passage so that what truly belongs to you can rush forward unhindered. If you can see this possibility and wish to align your spirit with it, type 1111 and affirm with the word yes. In doing so, you magnetize your life toward the better things already being written for you. But even as miracles and clarity approach, there is an ancient warning: pride blocks grace. Pride whispers that you alone are worthy, that the miracle arrives because of all you have done, and this choking self-importance builds invisible walls that keep blessings out. Humility is different. Humility is not weakness or self-denial. It is the willingness to admit that you are part of something far greater than yourself, a vast tapestry woven of countless threads. It is the understanding that angels move freely when we stop clutching at our own self-importance and instead cooperate with a divine dance beyond human comprehension. In humility, you leave room for God's hand to move, and for Archangel Michael to step in with his sword of light, cutting away what shackles and clearing a way forward. If you choose humility as your doorway this week, allow your spirit to make the declaration now. Write 222 and carry humility like a shield. So much of this journey is about posture, the posture of your soul, your silence, your openness. To anchor yourself in these truths, you are offered a simple prayer. Pray it when your fears mount higher than your courage. Pray it when confusion swirls louder than wisdom. Pray it when the night feels too heavy and your heart too fragile. Archangel Michael, warrior of light, stand by my side. Clear away the confusion, cut the cords of fear, and open the path that leads to truth. Protect my family, protect my heart, and guide me into the miracle you have prepared. Help me to stay silent when silence is needed and to speak with courage when action is required. Amen. Even this short prayer can build a fortress of clarity within you. If you feel the resonance in your spirit, declare Amen in the comments and tag someone you wish to carry in this same circle of protection. In doing so, you extend the invitation for them to create their own silence alongside you. A prayer anchors you, but ritual gives shape to the invisible. Here is one such practice. Light a single candle in a quiet room, not as a show but as a signal, to your heart and to the heavens, that you are ready for presence. Sit with quiet breath, slow and deliberate, and rest your hands on your heart. Imagine a shield of luminous blue light descending, enveloping you. This is the light often associated with Archangel Michael, the warrior glow of spiritual protection. Speak the prayer aloud once, then remain in silence for 10 minutes. Trust that the silence itself becomes an invitation to guidance. When the time of stillness ends, write down the first 2 impressions that arise within you. Do not force them, simply observe. These are often the next steps for your journey. Practice this ritual for 3 consecutive nights and record in your journal the subtle or sweeping changes that unfold. For those willing to begin this holy appointment tonight, write 777 and tonight, letting the rhythm of the community echo softly through the thread of shared faith. But let us dispel any fear. Silence is not loneliness. Silence is not separation from community. It is refinement. It is wisdom in choosing which words are for the public and which need to remain hidden in the secret place until their time. Community is vital. No one flourishes alone. Yet, look at the way seeds grow, beneath the soil, unseen, until they break forth with fruit. Your miracle is like this. It grows silently until strength comes, and only then is it revealed. You will know the right moment to bring it into the light, and at that time, you must not hesitate to share, for your celebration will become nourishment for others who are still waiting in faith. If you already feel this truth deep within, then choose your trusted companion. Write 999 and the name of one person who you know will honor and celebrate your miracle when it arrives. Presence is a simple word with a fierce edge. It is the small, steady light that dissolves the mist of panic and clears the cluttered corners of a racing mind. Archangel Michael's secret warning, do not ignore presence, feels like both a caution and a promise. It is a map and a mandate. When you choose presence, You choose to stop the frantic chase for answers outside of yourself and to lean instead into the one place where answers gather, the quiet center where God meets your breath. Presence is not a technique to be mastered or a trick to be performed. It is a posture to be adopted. It is the willingness to be still long enough to hear the voice under all the voices, to let the pounding of the world slow until the whisper of the Spirit becomes audible. This is the solvent for panic because panic feeds on speed and fragmentation. Panic multiplies when you are scattered, when your thoughts ricochet from what if to worst case without a tether. Presence retethers you. It brings everything home, your scattered thoughts, your thready faith, your trembling hopes, and lays them before the light so they can be seen, named, and healed. Think of presence as the clearing that makes room for precise action. When you are present, your next step is not a random gambit or a hurried guess. It is an illuminated step, chosen with more than instinct, chosen with discernment. The fog of worry breeds delay because it obscures the obvious and magnifies the impossible. When you lean into presence, those magnified fears shrink into proportion. You begin to see where God has already prepared a foothold, where a door is slightly ajar, where a word will meet you and steady your hands. Miracles, contrary to popular myths of sudden fortune, most often unfold inside this slow architecture. Small alignments, quiet openings, a timely conversation, a help that arrives exactly when your knees begin to weaken. They are not lottery wins dropped on the careless. They are invitations to cooperate. Cooperation is the spiritual muscle of the soul, the willingness to partner with the divine plan, to be an active participant rather than a passive wish. It asks for silence, listening, and movement in obedience at the quickening of the Spirit. When the Spirit quickens you, you will know, not by a thunderclap but by a steadying in the chest, a narrowing of the mind to what is true. The call to cooperate may be a small one. Send the message, make the call, forgive the one who does not deserve it, step across the threshold you have been avoiding. These are not heroic gestures in the world's eyes. They are holy acts of alignment. They demand the courage to be present in the small moments because those small moments are the stitchwork of destiny. If you are ready for that cooperation, if your heart is willing to exchange frantic striving for careful alignment, then speak it plainly. Write 1111 and add the words, "I'm ready." Let it be both a public affirmation and a private covenant with your own soul. When you write it, you are more than a scribbler of numbers. You are making a vow to yourself to show up, to be quiet, to listen, and to move when God moves. Action anchors revelation. Before you step away from this message, take one ordinary action to anchor the presence you feel. Like the video if the words stirred something within you. Subscribe if you long to continue walking in this river of spiritual insight and angelic guidance. Tap the bell not merely for notifications but as a symbol, a tiny, tangible act that says, "I will remember." Share this message not widely and loudly, but carefully and intimately, with one person you love who will understand the gravity of silence and the value of a witnessed heart. Invite them into a small, sacred space, a cup of tea, a walk beneath trees, a 5-minute pause where you both close your eyes and allow God to speak. Teach them to begin with silence first, before offering opinions or advice, because rescue rarely arrives through hurry. If you feel called to open your heart completely, begin your comment with 222 and add your prayer request. This practice allows the community to not just witness but to intercede. It builds a woven field of intercession strengthened by coordinated silence and shared faith. There is power in coordinated devotion. When many quietly align their hearts with the same hope, a pressure of heaven is formed, not loud or flashy, but real and actionable. Archangel Michael moves within such a circle. He is not merely a figure of myth. He is the archetype of divine protection and decisive deliverance. His sword is not violence but the clean, honest truth that cuts away the thing standing between you and your calling. His shield is not a barrier that isolates but a circle that safeguards the fragile place where miracles are received. To enter this circle you do not need credentials or a perfect past. You need willingness. You need the humility to say, "I am present, and I will wait." You need the courage to confess your readiness with a simple code, 1111, 222, 777, 999, and to say, "Amen," when the truth resonates in your bones. Choose your number now if this stirred your spirit. 1111 for the open ing of blessings, 222 for walking in balance and humility, 777 for courage in seeking peace, 999 for the embrace of healing. Each digit is a doorway, each doorway a commitment. Even typing a single number can change the trajectory of a day because faith is activated by declaration. Your comment may be small, but it is a conduit. Maybe your short prayer will be the precise petition someone else needs. Maybe your 5-wa-rd devotion will be the match that lights another's long-suppressed hope. Never underestimate the ripple effect of vulnerability and the courage to say, "I'm ready." Wa-lkfo-rd now, not with fear but with steady faith. Let your heart remain gentle even when disappointment tries to harden it, because a hardened heart stops miracles at the gate. Let your choices be wise and measured, not rushed by the tyranny of urgency. Remember that wait is not the absence of action, it is the discipline of wait on the right action. Preparation often looks like quiet patience, tending the small tasks, repairing roulette ion ships. Choose rest so your soul can be whole enough to carry bless Allow Archangel Michael to go before you. He clears paths, but he does not carry you past the step of obedience you must take. His presence carves the way by aligning circumstances, while your cooperation completes the movement. The question at the end of this moment: will you keep the silence sacred? Will you prepare a place for the miracle to land? Is not a test of willpower so much as an invitation to intimacy. The angels wait on your answer, not shouted to the entire world but whispered from the depth of your being. Speak your readiness into the fertile soil of silence. Plant your yes in prayer and then water it with small, daily acts of obedience. Let your life become a soft, consistent echo of the one who whispers truth into your waiting. Amen.